What's happening, everyone? It's Mike from the Hardcover Comic here. Today we're going to talk about the Young Avengers Omnibus, a book I got quite a few years ago, but I got around to rereading it recently. It's something I'm trying to do in the year 2020 is reread my book. So let's dive a little bit into the details of this and why you should go out and find it. Before we get started, just wanted to say be sure to hit that thumbs up. Really helps us out a lot. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see our videos more often. We post daily. Make sure to hit that notification bell as well. That way you know whenever we post a new video. Now, Young Avengers Omnibus. This was kind of a different book from what I was expecting. It's written by Kieron Gillen with artwork by Jamie McKelvie and colors by Matt Wilson. It's a book about younger characters in the Marvel Universe. Specifically, you've got Hulkling in there, Miss America, you got young Loki, Wiccan, Kate Bishop, and you got Marvel Boy as well. So a fun cast of characters written by a writer that tends to step outside the box a little bit with an artist who is incredible. And of course, it was a little different from what I was expecting because it does sort of use that youth of the characters. You get to see them utilize social media, and you get to see slang and stuff like that. But what happens in the story is basically Wiccan and Hulkling are together. They're a couple, and Wiccan basically wants to make Hulkling as happy as possible. And so one night he decides to find a different universe where Hulkling's mom did not die, and he tries to bring her into the 616 universe. Now the problem with that is he winds up bringing in a parasite, and that parasite ends up infecting all the adults in the town, and it turns the adults on the kids, and the adults don't remember doing anything. They just wind up telling the kids, hey, you got to come home. They try to reach out to the Avengers can't do anything because they don't see the effects of this parasite. And you get to see how that story unfolds really over the 15 issues here. Now Jamie McKelvie did the artwork for the first 5 issues and then 7 through 15. Incredible artwork. I love his work. But that's the general gist of the storyline. We're going to dive into the details a little bit more in a second here when we take off the dust jacket and take a look inside the book. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this read. It's probably my third or second time reading it. Don't remember. It's been a while because this book came out a few years ago, probably 5 years ago at this point. And so, it's been a while. It's nice. It was nice to refresh my memory and experience that beautiful artwork again. Jamie McKelvie and Kieron Gillen have done this in all their titles, but they really take the comic book outside of the standard storytelling format. Kieron Gillen likes to use text boxes and, panels in general, in a different way to sort of bring the story to the actual framework of the page as well. It's really well done. I love the way he utilizes Loki in this series. It's, of course, a spiritual successor to his run on Loki, which he did, Journey into Mystery and stuff, which is where young Loki came from, if I remember correctly. And it's really nice to see young Loki in here because he's trying to change who he is, but he also realizes he is Loki and the story writes who he is. It's really well done. You get to see a lot of cool characters in here. Another character you get to see is Prodigy, who joins the team a little later on in the story. But overall, I really, really enjoyed this. It's different. It's hard to really explain, and you're not really gonna experience what you expect. It's very different from what you would expect. And while they never call themselves the Young Avengers, it's sort of an apt title because they do sort of just come together and assemble and take down this parasite creature that's invaded the 616. Overall, if you can find this book, I don't think it's crazy. I know it's out of print. I don't think you can get it at most places, but if you do find it, it's not too expensive to buy on eBay or anything like that. It's not the biggest book, but I did enjoy it a lot. So let's dive in a little more to the details. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the book and the story details. So starting with the dust jacket, it's a nice book. I'm a fan of the design. It's Jamie McKelvie's artwork. There was also a variant cover, and sitting at 15 issues, this book is pretty much like the perfect size for an omnibus. That you can move around with and sort of read comfortably and pick up and walk around with and all that fun stuff. because a lot of people, they complain that while omnis are great and it's cool that they collect like a whole story and it's cool that they're big, that it doesn't make it very easy to read them, and I agree, it does not. Some of these omnibuses are just gigantic, and truly this book and all the other hardcovers that Marvel does at this issue size, 12 to 15 issues, I think it's the perfect way to read a comic book. You get the oversized artwork, but it's not uncomfortable. But anyway, Young Avengers, so it's a nice design. It's clean, crisp. The spine, could have used something here, but I like the little artwork on the back. Nice colors. It's cool. It's simple, but I like it. I'm a fan of it. Getting into the artwork a little bit more. So like I mentioned, in total here, you're getting 15 issues, most of them drawn by Jamie McKelvie. His artwork is fantastic. It's detailed, it's stylized a little bit. It's clean, very clean, and of course Matt Wilson's colors really bring it to life. So you get these two really cool 2-page spreads like this, and there's tons of these throughout the book too. It's not like this is the only one. You get to see, of course, Marvel Boy, Kate Bishop, style over substance. And it feels a little cinematic because, midway through the issue, sometimes it'll say you've been reading, or near the end of the issue, it'll say you've been reading a Marvel comic, all this cool stuff. It's a very cinematic book. And like I said, you get to see a lot of Loki. You get Miss America in there as well. As we sort of figure out what's going on with this parasite, you get Wiccan and Hulkling, who, like I mentioned, are together. And with a team like this, you get some magic in there, you get some deception, you get some dimension hopping with Miss America. You do get to see, of course, characters from multiple universes here, as again, they do jump from universe to universe. There's some great action, of course. It's a little, you do get a little bit of gutter loss, I guess, in here. The small size doesn't make it absolutely perfect, but you don't lose any of the story. Overall, the production for this book was really, really solid. And yeah, it's great because Loki plays such a huge part in this, and I think Kieron Gillen writes one of my favorite Lokis. He's deceptive and then at times honest. He's not a great person, but you can tell that he's trying to make himself better. So, like I mentioned earlier in the video, the storyline follows this parasite that's sort of making parents attack children, and so you get to see adults from all these characters, parents come in, even ones that are dead, and you get to see how these characters, how the Young Avengers react to that and how they start dealing with it. There is a lot of great humor in this book, like this scene here. It's just the way things are phrased too. Like Thor says, "The kingdom of slumber escapes you, Captain." It's just a great way to phrase that sort of sentence. You can't sleep. Yeah, it's such a great read, and you get to see these characters struggle with what they're going through, struggle with their relationships, struggle with their beliefs in themselves, their beliefs in their parents, their beliefs in the world. This is sort of the issue where you get they introduce Prodigy basically to the Young Avenger team and what he's been up to. It's good. I really had fun with this. 15 issues. In terms of the story itself, it does feel a bit short. The nice thing about an omnibus is getting multiple rich and rewarding story arcs. So I will say the size of the book does sort of disappoint there, because 15 issues, you just feel like you finally got used to the flavor, you finally got used to the style, and now it's over. So here we see, I didn't know too much about Miss America coming into this, but we get to see how she starts dimension hopping here. I feel like I should check out more about her character. I don't know much about her. I think she was recently introduced. She's not a super old character. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll take a look. I do love me some Loki, though. I think after this series is when the Al Ewing Loki series started, which I was actually reading as it came out, and it was a lot of fun. But Yeah, I mean, I do recommend to check this out at least. I know they're doing a complete collection coming very soon, that you can, pick up and get the whole series with. I just love Jamie McKelvie's artwork, and Kieron Gillen, when he works with Jamie McKelvie, it's some of the best comic content you'll ever read. It's fantastic, of course, with Matt Wilson helping out a lot. So this is sort of that parasite character I mentioned. It's Hulkling's mother, but with a twist, she's got something going wrong with her. Let's take a look here. I forget if there was any bonus content. What's cool is Kieron Gillen does give you an issue where he sort of wraps up all the plot points. There's the Brian Lee O'Malley variant. So this was the variant cover for the omnibus as well. You got some Scotty Young variants, some more variant covers here. Real nice stuff. Trad Moore, nice. Yeah, this is one of those series. With Empire coming up, it's cool to read some Hulkling while he's innocent, because I don't think he's gonna be too innocent in the upcoming event Empire. So it was nice. It was a nice coincidence there, and it's one of those Omnis I haven't read in a long time, and I sort of wanted to revisit it. Before I maybe even sell it. I don't know if I'm gonna ever reread it again, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. It was a fun time. It was a nice way to start to like these characters that I honestly didn't have much of an opinion on at first. I'm typically a DC guy, and while I do love a lot of Marvel books, I haven't been too involved with the younger characters, so it's cool to get to know these folks. And get to learn a little more about them. I'm interested to see, Marvel Boy. I've read some stuff. I've read a bit of Hawkeye, but I'm really interested to learn more about Prodigy, Miss America, Wick, and Hulkling. If you guys have any recommendations on what I can read, please let me know down below, and I'll be sure to check out those series. Thank you all very much for tuning in. This is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. Let me know if you have any more questions about the book or the series itself. I'm more than happy to answer. And thank you all very much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And as always, until next time, you stay classy, Internet.